Hello, hello, hello. Checking in with chapters 8, 9, and 10 of Qchtt by Salman Rushdie, where we start out with the beloved, the dark side of the beloved of Salma R, and getting to know her. I mean, first her kind of her public admissions to stuff, her marriages, her her bipolar thing, which seems to be very much inherited from both her mother and grandmother, and her struggles with that, and then more dark, her definite need addiction for opiates, things like that. The lover that she finds dead in a hotel room, lover, employee, she finds dead in a hotel room. The manager that she Rumpelstiltskin, I believe it is, who she gets to spins straw gold out of straw, gets him to make it everything go away, and then realizes, oh, this is something that he holds over me, and is like there anything like the Men in Black neuralizer that would erase his memory. And sadly, they've only been able to duplicate something like that in mice, but not in human beings. So yes, we get all of her darkness. She does get that letter from Qchtt, and actually she kind of enjoys it, but still tells her head security, keep an eye on this guy. I have a bad feeling about this guy, Qchtt. So both, and she gets a copy of it, and she does read it over several times. So it's like it calls to her in a way, but it's also, nah, she knows it's not good stuff. She's a famous person. She knows obsessive love in that way. Then we get 2 chapters of Qchtt and Sancho going across America, and definitely finding that middle America that does not want brown people in their lives, whether it is black brown people or shadows of 9/11, because indeed Sancho wakes up in some place where there's a twin of one of the Twin Tower buildings, but smaller scale. And he's like, what the fuck happened? Are we in New York already? And it's like, no. Why is it there? It's like, no, this is, I guess, a twin that the architect had made, before all this stuff had happened. And yeah, true to form, they're in Lake Capote when a white woman, True Karen, I guess, starts haranguing them about that they wear your turbans and stuff like that. Like, it's like, because if you're a racist, you're ignorant already. So why would you know that someone who's whether you should be harassing someone who did have a turban or not, but can't distinguish between people who are Indian and people who are like maybe Persian or Arabic, even though you shouldn't be fucking harassing those people either. It's like saying all Americans are asshole racists. No, not all Americans are asshole racists. Only some of them are. And same thing goes for Canadians. Not all of us are asshole racists. Some of us are holier than thou too. But yes, harangues, and it kind of puts the mark, as you think, puts a mark of Cain on them, and it just starts feeling that it's like, we should really get out of here. We should go to a blue state, kind of that sort of thing. And in the next chapter, they go into a bar and they actually see a couple of actual brown people, a couple of Indian fellows, and they kind of wave to them, but they give them their space. And a drunk guy comes in and shoots them. Not Sancho and Qchtt, but these two guys, and the wife of one of them who dies appears on things like, do we belong here? Do we belong here? And Sancho actually goes to visit, and the door is opened by a woman that he instantly falls in love with, who's like, gives him a pretty good harangue for like, why the fuck are you intruding on us in this kind of thing? And he's like, he calls her beautiful, which is just like, you're fucking disgusting. It's like, and he says like, well then, when I see you, if you ever come back, like, there's an implication there that like, if you ever came back, which is like, oh, she wants me to come back. And he decides to embark on a thing of actually learning the languages of Qchott in his childhood, both proper proper and street language of India, the various tongues, the various languages, in defiance of the racist assholes who don't want anyone to speak anything but English in their country. Why can't you speak English? Kind of that threat that they seem to find. But and it's like, it's like, what is it? It's about the threat of language, about other words owning the landscape, being used to describe the landscape. And you think about the, pointing out, like, there's all these native words for places, but where the meaning has been lost, we only just have the sound of the words, but not the meaning of them anymore. It's been extinguished in genocidal wiping of the peoples that were the first peoples of North America there, or, a lot of them. Obviously not all of them. There's some very vibrant cultures, but there's also some vibrant cultures that were completely extinguished, and they don't know what these words means, these place names mean anymore. So yeah, that is a very quick wrap up of those 3 chapters of Qchtt. It's kind of enjoying stopping and pausing at each one because they're very dense, and then when they kind of pile up on each other, I kind of lose it all. But I'm glad I'm stopping at least at this point just to say, hey, this is Qchtt for today. All right, I will leave it there. Sancho gets, he summons up. He's like, shit, I need to get something to be a real person, more than just, corporeal. So he summons the cricket, who can give him, can only do cash, can't do credit, because bank stuff, you have to be at a certain level, you have to be at a big high level to be able to do magic stuff against banks, and you're just strictly small change, so you only have cash, and it's like $200 cash, which is his limit. Apparently he's got a $200 limit, which sucks. But you should be able to get yourself a driver's license, even though you don't know how to actually drive. I can't do the magic for that. Or you can be able to get a bank account, but driver's license, I'm not going to be able to teach you that, kid. I'm like just a cricket. Yeah. And Sancho now having his own beloved, this girl that opened that door for him in Kansas. So he's got his own one that he would desire, and Qchtt, they're going to New York, where they have to kind of be monks and give up stuff, and Sancho says, "Oh, and I think I'll even give up my love of you too, which I probably get from you," which they get from Salman Rushdie, whose association with U2 is known by me as a semi-former U2 fan. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.